Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking, our weekly masterclass where we talk about advanced topics in public speaking, advanced topics that you will never hear anywhere else because everybody always starts to teach fundamentals because that's what people need to start with. So, how do you find the advanced stuff? Really, just by doing and learning the hard way, the College of Hard Knocks, and oftentimes it takes twice as long. So you come here, you learn, you experience, and voila, everything's speeded up. Today, our topic is how to create your why and develop a powerful message. Now, I have my shirt on. Don gave me this shirt. It's Remember Your Why. Remember Your Why. Now, I remember years ago, I would go to seminars and they would talk about find your why, find your why. And I thought, this is like voodoo, right? I thought, God, what is it? Find your why. I just felt like it just wasn't me, it just felt mamby-pamby. It just felt artificial. It just felt weird, right? Has anybody else ever experienced that when they've heard that term? Fine. Good. Thank you, Dr. Lo. It was like weird. It wasn't until my husband passed and I needed something to get me past my grief that I really got what they meant when they said, find your why. I really got it, and I got it at a deep level. So I'm going to try to share that so that you can look at it differently because I sure did. And I really got it. So when my husband passed, as all of you know, and Danielle, you got to meet him in person. Dr. Love got to meet him. Carol got to meet him. Dr. Luana got to meet him through Zoom. Karen didn't see him or meet him at all. Oh, I'm sorry. Don didn't either. So um, I don't know why I digress. But anyway, when he passed, and I was struggling for about a year and a half. I didn't want to be here. I couldn't do anything. And I'm not a depressed person at all. And sometimes I didn't understand how people could be depressed for so long. It's like, of not over a death, obviously, but over things. It's like, come on, get on with it already, all right, already, right? Until I got in it myself. And then it's like quicksand. It just starts taking you down and taking you down, and you can't help it. You cannot help yourself no matter what. And of course, everybody's coming at you. Oh, take grief counseling, take this, do that. You can't. It's like you're frozen. You can't do or take anything. It's all you can do to get out of bed and breathe and eat. And that's it, right? And I never understood it until I went through it myself. And so I had to find, and again, I prayed. This is, God. I mean, I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed for direction, right? And I think he wanted me to experience what I was experiencing because during that year and a half, my dogs died too. Oh, that was nice and fun, you know. I have to say, I was mad at God for a while. I didn't talk to him for a while. I mean, I was pretty mad at him. So, but now I see why, I mean, I see why. But it was just crazy. And most of you, a lot of you were with me. I still did these classes. I still did my CBP, and Luana got to see me every week. There's many, many weeks, right, Luana, that I cried on the phone, and it was the group and the support that got me through. It was these groups and all of you that got me through somehow. Through that dark time, my winter. But then it was like, remember I said it was like quicksand. So in order to get out of the quicksand, I needed something bigger than my grief, right? And then I told you the story. Most of you know this, but for Danielle and some people that don't know it, hi, Ardina. Hello, Ramona. Ramona, stick around a little bit after I have a question to ask you about the retreat. All right, so I'm going to digress for a minute and come back to my story. This is how powerful you have to be. Sometimes you're going to have a story within a story when you're speaking. But in 2 weeks, I'm taking a small group to Puerto Vallarta. I still have room. If anybody wants to go, reach out to me. This is a mastermind. This is where we work on the internal part of your speech. You cannot get this kind of work anywhere else. You have to go away with me somewhere. And we do the real heavy duty work, the heavy duty lifting, and really get down to the center and the crust of your speech and what it is that you want your audience to do with it. So we go from the head to the heart to the soul. And even though you've been in my masterminds before, my other masterminds were more business oriented because they were 6 months or a year long. So not only did we work on your speech, but we worked on the business of speaking and how we integrated it into your business. This is different. This is the speech and how to get that speech out and into the world and over to the audience to move them. So, and you become an international speaker to boot. So that's pretty cool. So when my husband passed and I, needed something bigger than my grief, and I prayed and prayed. I would go to retreats, and that's how I ended up in Sedona. I went to a retreat called Sanctuary. I thought, oh, that's what I need, a sanctuary, right? And I prayed for direction. I thought God wasn't listening, wasn't hearing me. I felt like he abandoned me. So not only did I lose everything living in my house, but I felt like God had left me as well, right? And he didn't, of course. That was just my, where I was at the time. It was just very dark where I was. And so one day I'm watching TV and I see, I'm watching not TV, but YouTube. I had nothing to do, right? I was just a zombie. So I don't watch it at all now, but I've been watching YouTube, and, and I see Ernestine Shepherd, who's a black bodybuilder. And in that moment, I said, that's it. Boom, that's it. That's what I want to do. And it wasn't bodybuilding. It wasn't exercise. I did that. I've ran marathons in my 50s. I've exercised all my life. But what I wanted to do was compete. That's what I want to do on the stage, bodybuilding. Just like that. I've never had that thought before. Never. Do you think it was a divine thought and a divine intervention? Absolutely, because God knew I needed something huge to get me out of the quicksand. See, somebody could throw you a branch if you're in quicksand. You could grab that branch and pull that branch in. But if someone brought you a 2x4 and they laid the 2x4, it was so big that it was over the whole, part of wherever, your hole was of the quicksand, you actually could be strong enough to get out of there. Might take you a little while, but you'd be strong enough. And that's what God knew, and that's what God gave me, something big, right? Now, getting to the why is this. Why do we have to have a why, and why is the why so important? My why was to stay alive because I wanted to go out in the street, and I kept contemplating it. I kept thinking about it. I kept dreaming about it, that if I just walked out into Euclid and got hit by a car, it would be an accident, and I wouldn't go to purgatory. Is that sick thinking? Yes, it is. But that's how hurt and lonely I was and I felt. So I had to come up with a big why. Well, it came up for me, but my why is so big. That's why I go every day. That's why I get up every morning. That's why I work out for 90 minutes. That's why I do it every day, and that's why I compete. I don't do the exercise so I can compete. I do the exercise so I can live. And the competing is the icing on the cake. But that's my why, to stay alive. A lot of people don't exercise because their why is not big enough. They say they exercise because they want to get healthy. Just gag me today, right? Just gag me. Nobody wants to get healthy. I'm going to tell you that. That's a baloney. I'm calling bullshit, right? Because that's not it. It's not big enough. Because guess what? We'll go for a little while and then we go, who cares? I can cheat. I can do this over here. I can have a candy bar. I can have ice cream because their why isn't big enough. But when your why is life and death, you don't care about that ice cream anymore. Because you eat that ice cream and you could die, right? You eat that ice cream, you could fall off the wagon and die. I mean, it's a big why. So a lot of people ask, oh, I want to get healthy for my children. Bull. Not a big enough why. Don't do it for your children. You got to do it for you. For you. Your children don't care. Sorry. Sorry. They got their own lives. They got their own friends. They got their own children. They got their own dogs. They got their own crap. They got their own drama. They don't care if you're fit or not. Not really. They say, oh, yeah, I want you to be fit and healthy and live longer. They don't really care. They just want you to be mom. They will love you if you're fat. They'll love you if you're skinny. They'll love you if you're ill. They'll love you if you're healthy. They'll love you anyway. Do it for you. And pick a reason to do it for you. Not just because you want to get healthy. That's not big enough. Not lasting enough. It's big enough to get started. And that's what people do. That's why the gyms are full on January 1st. And then they're empty by February 14th. Because their why isn't big enough. So why am I explaining to you about this and fitness? Because that's the kind of why you need for your speech. And most people do not have a why that's big enough for their speech. Why are you talking about that? Oh, because this is what I do for a living. Why? You've got to peel the onion. Why is it important to your audience? Why is it important to you? If it's not important, and most people, it's not important. They're just yakking a yak. They're just trying to get business, right? They're repelling their audience instead of drawing them in because their why isn't big enough why they're even talking about that. They're just doing it to do it. They're just doing it because that's their business. Look for the why. Why are you talking about your topic? Why are you talking about naked leadership? What is driving you? What's that driving force? How is that going to help other people? You see, when I got into my fitness, I inspire people all over the world. I never set out to inspire them. I only set out to live. Because if I said I'm going to work out to inspire others to work out, guess what? I wouldn't be inspiring them, would I? Because that's not the right why. You have to have the why for your message for yourself first. Then you can translate it and give it to others. And most people, most speakers do not know why in the heck they're giving their message, except for money. Well, that only lasts for 5 minutes. It's got to be deeper, right? Right? So Dr. Renee, it's not her story, but let's say she's doing this love thing because she's so passionate about helping people find the right love because she's had crappy loves, right? That's her why. She does not want anybody, she doesn't want to go through that again, and she doesn't want anybody else to go through that again. It's not just because that's what she does. Love, 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 right? It's deeper than that. So I want you all to think about the real, tonight, not right now, but tonight. Meditate, dream, pray, think, why am I giving this message? And if you can't come up with a big why for you, then maybe you want to look at a new message. So I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can look at this message. And we're going to spell out the word why. Why? W. What is the W? The W stands for win. Win, win, win. Win in your heart. win in your audience's heart, and win in the together heart. It's got to be a win-win-win, all of you. And I just got chills, right? Why are you doing it for you? What is it for you? It's got to be like life and death. The more life and death it is, the bigger it is, and the better it is, and the long lasting it'll be, and the more people it'll reach. See, speaking is gone beyond just being authentic, right? I mean, the good speakers, it's gone. It's beyond just being a surface speaker anymore. We're not buying it. We've got less time. We got 15 minutes to really get in there and really touch somebody, move somebody. And even if it's one person, then we could have saved their life, saved their soul. And that's what we want to do. So it has to be a win for you, a win for them, and a win for the both of you together. So think about that tonight. How can you have a win, 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 right? So let's take Dawn, for example. She's going to be talking. She's coming to Puerto Vallarta, and she's going to be talking about her health journey, right? And she's got a big why too. I know what it is. I'm not going to share it because it's not mine to share. You know what, ladies? You don't have to share your why. I shared my why because I'm teaching, but if you have this why and you don't want to share it because it's personal, you don't have to. You just have to have the feeling of it. You just have to be grounded in it in order to share your message. So don't think that you go out and tell everybody. I don't go out and say, hey, I was going to fucking excuse my language, kill myself. So I have to have, Karen, you're so cute. You're smiling. Same with you, Carol. You're so funny. But I mean, serious, you don't have to go and tell them that's yours. It just has to propel you to speak better, stronger. And then what about them? You don't know their situation. In my case, I inspire people. I'm not saying my why and their whys are the same. My why is to stay alive, but their why, what I'm doing for them is inspiring them to have a better life. Maybe inspiring them to find their own why about fitness and why they let themselves go. I mean, all of you, you've seen me. I was 45 pounds heavier. I look at pictures, oh my goodness, right? Dr. Renee knows, my gosh. So I'm no saint here. I look at those pictures, I'm like, oh my goodness sakes, how did I? And you know what? When I'm in my body, I didn't think I looked that bad. I thought I was like sexy as could be. Holy crap. I had to wear a tent, right? I had to wear a tent. I wore what I call butt-friendly dresses. Right? So your why is going to be different than their why. But you just have to know that there is something in it for them. And then together, okay, so mine, I happen to inspire them, right? I'm staying alive. Guess what? They're going to stay alive a lot longer and be a lot healthier if they exercise. That's our group. That's what we have in common. That's what goes around. It's about life, staying alive. Remember the reason why we speak. Save businesses, save lives, or save souls. Those three reasons and those three reasons only. Right? It's not to make money. It is not to get your new product to launch. Right? That lasts for about 5 minutes. Now, can you do that along with it? I'll tell you what, it'll propel a lot further if you had a why and have their why and have a group why, then you could sell almost anything. It propels it, that why. So tonight your homework is to think about what is your why. And next week, I want you to come back and share it with me. Oh, not next week. Are we doing next week? Yeah, next week. And then the 9th, Dawn and I are going to be, and Dawn and Ramona, and Some others are going to be in Puerto Vallarta. So next week, I'm going to write that note. I want you to come with your why. Now, if you don't have your why, I don't want you to not come because you didn't do it. Because I want you to come to hear, because if you don't have it, it's because maybe you're not quite sure how. I want you to come and listen to other people's. Got it?
Got it.
Good. Okay. Now the H in why. We're spelling out why. Remember your why. Remember your why. Dawn, give me the shirt. Isn't that cute? Remember your why. The H is for how to do it. How to do it. Okay. So my why is to stay alive and not be depressed and in the quicksand. Then how do I do it? I'm doing it through exercise. Right? Somebody else might do it through needlepoint. I don't know. They might do it through a million different ways. But for me, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. And again, mine didn't come from me. I have been accused of all kinds of stuff, I'm going to tell you. I've been accused of wanting to be Barbie's grandmother, right? I mean, like, right? Barbie's grandmother. Well, by jealous people, I suppose, by haters, I guess. I don't know. So there's always going to be some people that aren't going to like what you're doing, whatever. But mine is by divine. And I keep telling these people that. I mean, they're some, most of these comments are coming from acquaintances on Facebook or clients or old friends or something. I've had like one of my relatives say something, it's like, Arvee, there is a limit to exercise. Oh, there is? There is? It's like, don't listen to them because you know what? They're not walking in my shoes. They're not getting up every morning making sure that they can get themselves out of bed. Right? I get up every morning because I go work out. That propels me out of bed. But I still get depressed, but I'm not in the quicksand. There's a difference. I still deal with grief. The grief didn't go away. Michael didn't magically come back. It didn't change anything there, but it changed it in here. And that's what you have to change. Inside. Ever heard, what is that saying? Something, it's an inside job, right? Yeah, how does it go, Carol? I don't remember the saying, but yeah, if you remember it.
Oh, well, it's for me, it's not the outside. It is an inside job.
Yeah.
Shifting and changing is an inside job.
Yes.
And in naked leadership, that's why you get to keep your clothes on because it's an inside job.
Spoken wisely from the one that teaches naked leadership.
Yes. Yeah.
So you go to her seminars, be careful, you don't need clothes, they're optional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kidding, just teasing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the how. So the H is the how. And again, it's going to be different for you. So if I'm inspiring my audience to exercise, that doesn't mean they have to become a bikini competitor like me. But it means that they're going to do more than they did. And if they have a why for why they're doing it that's bigger than their children or their dog, they will do it on a more consistent basis. That's the key, because you can inspire anybody to do anything, right? You can inspire Dr. Love, you can inspire them to go and get on a dating app and date a couple times and mess up. If their why isn't big enough, why they want to really find that true love, they're going to give up. People give up. We all give up, right? We all give up. I give up on stuff too, right? But not the stuff that's going to get me out of the quicksand, right? You don't want to give up on stuff that's going to hurt you or kill you. So I might inspire. If they don't find their why, then they'll not do it. They'll not continue. See, the finding the why is what gives you the power to be consistent. at speaking, at your business, at writing, at anything. If your why is so big, so Dr. Luana, your why when you were on TikTok, your why is because, and it's not this, I know it was something more internal, but you have people counting on you, people waiting for you, but you're helping people, but you got something out of it. And you don't have to share what it is, but it's not, it looks like it's, oh yeah, I want to help these people, they're waiting for me. But you got something. Your why was propelling it. And that's why you went on it every single day for 2 or 3 or 5 hours. That's dedication, that's commitment and consistency. And that's what we need for everything. That's the kind of why you need to be looking at. And when you want to be a great speaker, what is your why? Right? And again, too many people say money, and it can't be money. Money isn't an inside job. Money is not internal. It's an external energy. And that's why it comes and goes. Right? That's why sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't. Internal. Okay, so the how do you do it? You're going to figure out what is your why and whatever it's for, and then how is it that you're going to do it. Now, the you is for you. The why is for you. The why is for you. It has to have meaning and matter to you. Again, as I said, it's an inside job. It's got to be for you. It can't be for your children. It can't be for anybody, your husband, because it won't last. It won't last. Perfect example. In 2007, 2008, I ran marathons. Right? I ran marathons. 2 years, marathons. 5 marathons, 5 half marathons, no, 2 marathons, 5 half marathons, bunch of 5K. I was running every single weekend. Why? What was my why? Wasn't me. I was doing it to help raise money for my brother who had leukemia and lymphoma. Noble cause, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't last. He got in remission and I stopped running. I didn't care about it anymore. It didn't serve an internal purpose. It was an external purpose. It was solved. I was done. Otherwise, I might be a runner today. I loved running. It was fun. It had every element. I had friends, had running friends. I got to travel. I went to San Francisco and ran in the Nike marathon, all women's marathon. And at the end of it, who was standing there waiting but beautiful, handsome firemen in tuxedos with a little Tiffany box with a little running girl necklace. And if that isn't enough to keep you running, I don't know what is. I did it for my brother. I wasn't doing it for me. So it didn't last. Only lasted a couple years. Then I got plantar fasciitis and boom, I never went back. So do it for you. Where I've had hiccups and I've had, when I had my breast cancer, I couldn't work out for 9 days. 9 days. I didn't stop. Oh, I got breast cancer. Okay, I stopped now. That's the end of my workout. Some would, but my why was too big. Because my why wasn't about working out. My why is about staying alive, staying out of depression, being able to come here and serve you. 9 days, I'm supposed to be out 2 weeks. I couldn't do it. 9 days, that's all they got. Okay, I'm done. I'm back. Pick that big why and make sure that why has meaning to you. Okay, that's the lesson for today. Next week, I want to hear your whys. Why are you speaking? Why this message? You might find that you're going to change your message. You might find that there's something really important, and I give you permission to talk about something important. It doesn't have to be your business. It doesn't have to be your business. It can be something else. It could be your business, but if you go, you know what, Arvee? I just can't get excited about, this, talking about my business. Don't. We can always integrate almost anything. But if you want to talk something about the Lord or something else, then talk about that. Let's develop it. Let's work on it. Let's get there, because that is what is going to change lives and save them and save their soul. All right, so let's open it up for questions, discussion. I'm just going to go around the room in the order that I see you. Dr. Renee, well, Karen is actually first, so let me come back to you. Go ahead, Karen. This just kind of around the room. Do you have any comments, questions that you want to share today?
Well, I love it because one of my little projects today is around writing who loses if I don't win. I've been sort of meditating, journaling on that a little bit, which is
Who loses?
who loses if I don't win. And it's been interesting because the people that I've picked, there's 5 of them. In the past, I've always written the same thing. But today, when I was doing it, I actually wrote something different for everybody. So it is a little bit about inspiration, but also it's changed the reason inside. So
Good.
just interesting that this is the topic that you're talking about today as well.
No coincidence.
No
No.
coincidence.
Perfect. All right, Dr. Renee.
Okay, Arvee, great topic. Thank you so much. How long do you want how long is our presentation for?
What presentation?
You said next week we have to give a presentation on what our why is.
Oh, no, not a presentation. You just tell me what your why is.
Oh, just a sentence? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just tell me what your why is.
Oh, I was getting ready for the sandwich formula and the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's like, I'm so ready, okay. All right, got it.
But you could do that if you go and listen to a recording. You could do a little 3-minute report.
Yes, a report. Okay,
yeah.
And then what is a password again? I'm so sorry. What is a password? It's passionately speaking.
Shine. All lowercase, ladies. All lowercase.
Okay, and it's passionatellyspeaking.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I'm complete.
And you go in there, you'll see a member area. You have to go into the member area, or if you don't see it, go into the little 3 lines, the little hamburger.
A hamburger?
Yeah, they call it a hamburger. It's 3 lines.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, a hamburger. It's okay, because I've been wanting a hamburger, but I don't do hamburgers. Okay, got it. I mean, I'm always thinking about food and ice cream all the time, but I just don't do that. That's why I ask you what you eat. I'm it's just living vicariously through what you eat. So it's just
Well, I'll tell you, we eat a lot. People think we don't. We eat 5 meals a day, but it's just they're mainly vegetables and meat, and then 1 or 2 of them will have a little bit of rice.
And then do you eat cauliflower or green beans or squash, zucchini?
Yeah, you can have any of that. I have zucchini. Dawn a lot of times has green beans. Yeah, anything green.
Oh, green. Okay, so spinach, right?
Yeah, anything green.
Okay, got it.
Salads. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Carol.
So Arvee, I wanted to share with you and with everyone here, you mentioned a few times about, from the head to the heart. And in my research, in speaking and moving me forward, there was a Sioux Indian chief who said, the longest journey anyone will ever take is the 18-inch journey from your head to your heart.
I love that.
So in essence, and that is naked leadership, is to live and lead from your heart. And as I listened to you today, it was just click, click, click of how many different messages that whatever you want them and however you want to call, whether it's God, whether it's source, whatever, has sent me. And thank you. Thank you.
Nice. I love that. See, it's like no accident that you're here. Carol hasn't been here for several months, and now
Yes.
she's here.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you got what you needed to get.
Yes. And I will just, before I zip it, is in midsummer 2023, my granddaughter wanted to go see the Barbie movie.
Oh yeah.
I reluctantly went with her because I didn't want to see it. After the movie, when we got back to my daughter's place, my daughter said to me, "Mom, what do you think of the movie?" And out of my mouth, I certainly didn't give a thought. This was words coming from higher source. It was, what have we done to the feminine and what have we done to the masculine? And it was so funny because that is part and parcel of where I'm coming from and speaking about. So absolutely fascinating how these things come into our lives.
Yes. Excellent. Good. All right. Let's go to Dr. Luana.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Just if you have any comments, questions, Golden, what?
No, but I was thinking about the why. I, like you, when I used to hear people saying that it didn't really mean anything to me, and I'm trying to think, what's my why now, since I'm not on TikTok anymore. I missed that. But
well,
anyway, I have to come up.
Well, I don't believe personally, I don't believe maybe you can, but you can't come up with a why without a something. See, it's not like, what is my why? Why what? Why for living? I mean, my why, okay. So Michael passed. I needed something to get me out of depression. I chose bodybuilding. The reason I stay in bodybuilding is because my why comes back to why I got into it, to get out of depression. You see what I mean? So you have to have something to create a why from. You can't just go, what is my why? That's voodoo to me. That's woo woo. Right? What is my why? Why for what? Why you ate a hamburger? You know what? So there has to be some sort of or not has to be, but I recommend. I mean, it works. What I'm talking about is when you have something like we're talking about a message, or maybe it's because you know why you moved. You had a big why for moving in with your son, right? And that's
True.
you there, right? So you have that why is taken care of, and that's why you're still with your son, or you would maybe move out by now, right?
No, I'm still here.
Why, right?
Unless he kicks me out, I'm not going anywhere.
There you go. See, you got a big one. So you have, so now it's maybe, if you want to write a book. See, I took me 9 years to write a book because my why was not big enough. I wasn't consistent. Your why will keep you consistent with whatever it is you want to do. Think of it that way if you want to check in with it, right? Took me 9 years because my why wasn't big enough. In other words, I didn't care that much about it. I cared more about speaking and doing events and playing and drinking champagne than I did writing my book, until time was running out. And then all of a sudden it became real important. And what was my why? Time was running out.
Maybe that's why I finally wrote my romance story. Time is running out. I'm older than you, so.
Not much. Not by much. So think of what it is that you want. So don't try to think, I hope I didn't give you the impression you're having a why for no reason. You're having a why for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's propelling you to be consistent, to change something within yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. That is why I was on TikTok and why I spent so much time over there, was because I knew I was helping people. People were
No, that's not.
asking me questions. They wanted to know
Baloney.
things, and I could provide that for them.
No,
That
that's
was
not right.
important to me.
No, that's not right. You know why that's not right? Because you'd still be doing it. You'd figure out another way to do it.
Oh,
No,
I am going to go back to
internal.
doing it. I'm just waiting to find out what they're going to do because I don't want to go over there and then have to start all
You
over.
have an internal reason that you did it because it made
I-
you feel good, made you feel important. It gave you a highlight and an expertise, and right, it elevated you.
Mhm.
So
True, which is why I do that over on Facebook now.
that's why you kept doing it. If it was
Mhm.
just to help them, I'm sorry, but you would have stopped. We all do it. It's human nature that I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
You know, the minute something happened, right? No, you
Mhm.
did it for you because it made you feel good. You were the expert. And as you should, because I was blown away that you did that, and you got that audience. You were the expert. You got known. You got fame, right? You got an ego boost. You
Well,
fed
yeah, I
you. It
definitely got
fed
an ego
you.
boost. But
It
you're
fed
right. I guess it is. It's something that's been in me all my life. It's why I have never given it up, even when I wasn't getting paid for it. Because even when I argue with God, why do you keep doing this to me? And I said, I'm ready for something else, but he'd always be sending me more people who needed help with something. And I was always there. So you're right. I guess it is an ego boost thing. It was
Yeah, of
important to
course.
me.
And it should, and you deserve it. You deserve it. But you got it. And I hope you go back. I hope you find a way to get back there. All right, let's
Oh,
keep going. We
man,
got
I
a few more.
will.
All right, Dawn, you're up.
Don? Okay. I think my why is an avenue for me to release my inner self and not the identity that society and family members and coworkers have put on me.
Okay, so say that a little simpler.
That allows me to be myself.
Okay. 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 We've developed that more. Think about that more. The why come up with next week. So
Okay.
think about that a little bit more and think like, a little bit more on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if we're talking about your health journey, allowing you to be yourself, that's kind of a surface. I think there's
Yeah.
some deeper inside there that got you there.
The personal
Matter of
stuff.
fact,
Yeah.
I know it because I know your story. So let's
Yeah.
keep going.
That didn't work, huh? I tried the fancy words. It didn't work with you.
You tried to like cover it up. I'm gonna put a little white word.
All right. That's smart.
All good. It'll come out during the training too. All right. Ardina, welcome back, Ardina.
Thank you. Wow, this has really got me thinking. Um, and I will be thinking about this until you come back. I believe my why has changed. But I'm just in a kind of in a different space.
Yes, you are. Again, you don't have to come up with your why till next week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and our whys for different things will change. In your case, I know your beloved mom passed. I would call her mom, and it was kind of sudden,
Yeah,
right? It was kind of like boom.
yeah.
So our whys can change when things in our life change,
Mhm.
right? Like
Right.
I no longer feel like marketing my business anymore. I don't want the hassle of the hustle, right? And I
Yeah.
always hustled. I don't want to do it. I can't do it anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Because now it's about staying out of the quicksand, and all my energy is going to that. So that changed. So it's going to change for all of us as things and events in our life changes. But again, what we're talking about here, just like what happens in life, we have to get that why for our speech, our
Mhm.
message. It has to be that strong. Why are you talking about what you're talking about? Like your art, right? And
Right.
really, right now you're just trying to sell it.
Mhm.
But I think if you could tap into a bigger why that you're doing it, like you're doing this art for a reason, because it is different art than any art on the planet, right? I mean, not only are you doing it because you're good at it, but there is a big reason, a deeper reason that you're doing this. And that's what I want to hear next week. When you tap
Okay.
into that, you'll be able to speak better about it and sell more. Right? Right now, you're just trying to sell it. I know, I've listened. You're just trying to sell legacy. Guess what? Nobody wants that. They don't care about it. But when you get tapped into what's really going on and why you're doing it, they'll feel it and they'll get it and they'll want it. That's for all of us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Tardina because she's up, but it's for all of us. And she sells beautiful, beautiful art.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ramona. You're up, girl.
Good. I just got done driving. The question I have for you is, so in a short talk, I mean, I part of that why for me is a sad part about not wanting to have other young couples go through divorces because it makes such an impact. But I mean, sometimes you can't say that in one sentence.
Oh, we don't tell people the why. That's just for
Right.
you.
So,
The
yeah,
why
so
propels the message. You're not going to tell your audience the why.
okay, that was the question I had for you. I know
No,
you said I wasn't sure because sometimes you do want to say partially what your reason is. It is part of your story.
it can be, but it's the why is usually bigger. Okay, so let's hypothetically, I'm just going to make this up, Ramona. So you want parents to communicate better with their children. Now, I'm going to make this up. So this is not the truth, everybody. But let's just say that that you had that you didn't communicate with one of your children or whatever, and they got into trouble and they went to jail, right? And that caused you pain and agony like you wouldn't believe, right? That can be like the why. You never tell people, oh, my husband went, or my child went to jail, or he killed somebody and went to jail, or whatever the case may be. But it was so hurtful on your soul that you never wanted another parent to do that. And you felt in your soul of your soul of your soul that if you would have communicated at a very, very young age, that wouldn't have happened. But maybe because you had to work, or because you had to this, or because of that, he was left alone, right? To meet gang members and blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? So that's it. But you don't tell people, oh, my son went to, prison or whatever, right? But
Well,
if you just would have been there.
okay.
Okay? That kind of thing. Does everybody get that? No, and not 1 ounce of that is true for Ramona. I just, am embellishing just because I know what she does for the children. Okay. I don't want anybody to go, oh, did you know Ramona?
It wasn't me, it was my son, No. That's
Right.
true.
Okay.
It's something
Yes.
on your it's painful.
Yeah, but see how that could be painful? Right. You're blaming yourself or whatever, and you never want that to happen to somebody else. But so
Yeah.
that's what's driving your why, right? Okay. Let's go to, let me see, we have Danielle and then Tanya.
Hi, Robin. I wanted you to help me hone my why. So my main thing to get into coaching was because what I went through, I was a genocide survivor, and but I had a dream before that to make my dream come true as a coach. So I was dreaming that in my past life, I was someone important of a leader, like 500 years ago, a princess looking down on top of a cliff and seeing my people got hurt. So that just woke me up and fired me up to become a hypnotherapist to help, people overcome trauma, emotional challenges. But I don't know how to incorporate into my story about my why. But I am passionate about helping others overcome challenges and what they're going through. So like one main thing for me was I was abandoned when I was young, but I overcame all that. But so
But
that's
see, you're kind of discounting that, but I overcame all that. That is the thrust of the why that you need to incorporate in yourself in order to help people. See, the why isn't to help people. That's a byproduct, that's a procession effect of your personal why. So don't discount like, oh, poo-poo, I got over it. No, let's look at that. That's it. Whatever that happened to you when you were younger, right? Whatever trauma you felt, you don't want other people to feel that.
okay.
It's so bad that you don't want anybody else to feel that. So that's why you're helping people. And
Okay.
you're keeping yourself out of trauma still by helping others. See, that's
Okay.
what we tend to do. We say it's for them, but it's really for us, right?
Yes.
I mean, I teach public speaking, but guess what? I get better and better and better and better every class I teach. Every word I say, I get better. It just happens. So you're going to get better over that trauma just by, continuing that instead of pushing it under the rug, and have it come out other places. You can really get over it by helping other people get over theirs.
Thank you, Arvee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked on it. Yeah.
Can you come to PV next in 2 weeks? I think you'd be perfect there.
PV?
Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, I'll look into the event because I'm working now and I can look into it.
It's from the 9th
Yeah.
until the 9th to the 15th.
Oh, the 9th, 15th. Okay, I'll look into the details. It's on your website, right? Or email somewhere about the events?
On the website.
Okay.
/store, SOSOAR, which stands for Speaking Outrageously Authentic Retreat.
Okay,
so
I'll look into it, Arvee.
.com/soar. But just call me because you're not going to go to the website. Nobody goes to websites. You say you will, but you won't. So I know it. Just call me.
All right, I will. Thank you, Arvee.
If you're interested, we're going. I'm going. It's all set. We
Okay.
got a great time. But I just think that it would be perfect for you. I mean, my heart just says the timing is perfect for you.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Thank you, Arvee.
All right. You have my phone number, right?
Yes, I do.
Just call
In
me.
the email.
Okay.
Thanks, Arvee.
Call me. Okay. All right. We're going to go to Tanya. Sorry. If you have to go, I know we're a little late, but go ahead and go. I appreciate you being here. See you next week with your why. All right.
I'll be quick with this. They say your why should make you cry. And I remember this is what I know. When you really know what your why is, you'll be really focused. I remember when I was transitioning from working for corporate America to my own business. And so I did it. But what kept me working hard and really my nose to the grind was my why was I did not ever want to go back to corporate America again, ever. And so that made me really stay focused on what I was doing. And then I just like to add, I love what the lady, I think it was Karen, who said, "Who loses if you don't win?" And going back, I just love that saying. Going back to what Ardina said, I just remember, and we didn't do this, and I still feel bad because I didn't coordinate it right. But my husband really, 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 really wanted a portrait with him, his dad, and the family. But because so many of the other family members couldn't make it this day and couldn't make it that day, and I still to this day, it breaks my heart that he did not get that photo with his dad. So maybe one of your things, Ardina, to do is to interview people. I don't want you to interview him because it'll bring back bad memories. He'll say, "That's Tanya didn't get that together for me." But maybe interview some people on what they wish they would have had with, you know, if their parents had died and they didn't have a family portrait, and then they would give you those emotions, and then you could start saying that out there. You know, it's an emotional thing. Pictures, it's emotional. So I had Ardina do what's like, how many pictures I have her do? I had to do all these pictures, and I'm
Nice.
oh yeah, and she's doing another one for me now. But the one picture we didn't get was the one with his dad. So I don't know how you could use that, Ardina, but
I think you can put him in, can't you, Ardina? Can't you add him?
Yes, I can.
oh,
Yeah.
You can add
okay,
him in.
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we
Another
need to
picture.
we
I was
need to
gonna
work on that.
I was
You
gonna
guys
share that
talk.
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to work
Ardina's
on that.
very talented. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she very is. But now my why is because my mother struggled so much financially. My why is really to help women control their finances with purpose and eliminate financial stress and the
Mhm.
uncertainty about money. So I really want to help women because women deserve more than just survival. They deserve to have some real good strategies. Now, I don't
Okay.
know if that's emotional enough or I need to
Okay.
work on that.
Remember the why, okay, is win win win, but it's you. So you say, I really want my mom struggled, so I want to make sure that other women don't. That's not your why.
Okay.
That's the how. So your why is you saw your mom struggle and you do not want to do that too. That's
Oh,
why when you
yeah.
got married, you told your husband, I'm taking care of the finances.
Yeah.
You don't want to be where your mom was and feel what your mom felt because you saw it. That's your why. And that's what
You're
keeps
right.
on it, on it, on it. Never want to
You're
come
right.
down there into
You're right.
Poorville.
You're right. I always wanted to be rich
I can
because
see.
I saw yeah, I saw my mother. So I said, I want to be rich. I can't them struggles and all that craziness. I can't go through that. That's just not in me. So
No,
you're right.
that's your why. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarity.
Okay. All right, ladies, we'll see you back here next week. Ramona, stick around for a few minutes. Dawn, you can stick around for a few minutes.
Okay.
If again, I got one seat left in Puerto Vallarta. If you want it, let me know. Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks,
Bye bye.
Arvee.